Agent 4, this is the second pre-selected case file you are required to study as part of the orientation program. Case file 21-18-6 Romeo, Oscar, Mike. Status, closed. Registered by Agent 10, decommissioned. Registry date, November 1, 2000. On October 27, 2000, second-class bureau agents embedded in New York Police Department reported that an anomalous room was discovered in an abandoned building. A vagrant in the building was found dead by squatters and was reported to NYPD. Various explosions, gunfire, and screams were reportedly heard before the squatters investigated and discovered the anomaly. The 911 caller claimed there were samurai in the room. At 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Agent 10 made contact with the room in question. The agent's report is as follows.
The room was different in style and in materials used in comparison to the rest of the building. There were 7 doors, all identical. Strange noises came from behind them. The reported vagrant lied dead on the floor with a katana in his chest. I proceeded to open the door on the left end. The adjacent room was at first pitch black, but was slowly illuminated, with 6 doors now before me. The doors each differed in material and age. I opted to try the wooden, aged door. As with the previous room, darkness first, then gradual illumination. This new room was a playground. I recognized it because it was the same one from my childhood. I avoided the playground objects and made my way to the steel door, which was one of the 5 doors available to me. The next room was a shooting range. As I suspected, it was the one from my time in the army. Whatever anomaly this room harbored was using my memories to create each room. There were now people in the room with me. They seemed unaware of my presence, even when I aimed my weapon at them. I cautiously moved among them and made my way to the door most familiar to me out of the 4 of them. It was the bedroom door in my house, before I was recruited by the Bureau. The next room was my bedroom. My late wife lay in our bed. Dead. Another me was standing at the foot of the bed, the gun held at her. This was the night I was recruited to the Bureau. I walked to the 3 doors on the other end, the other me followed me with his eyes. As I opened the door to the supervisor's office, he asked me, "Are you proud to serve?" But I walked through without answering. The supervisor welcomed me and asked me to sit. I replied I'd rather stand. The other me from the bedroom followed me through the door and was also welcomed by the supervisor. He sat down and they both turned to look at me, waiting. I decided to play along and sat down in the other chair. The supervisor then gave us each a gun, nodded, and stood to leave. We both stood up and walked to the 2 doors at the other end of the room. The other me opened the door in front of him and walked through. I followed by opening the other door. This time, both doors led to the same room. The next room is a combination of all the other rooms. Everything was connected in strange ways. My doppelganger was joined by my dead wife and the soldiers from the shooting range. They spoke in a chorus, "Are you proud to serve?" and started shooting at me. There was ample cover and the weapon provided to me turned out to hold infinite ammunition. I was shot twice, but managed to neutralize them all. After the shootout, I limped to the final door, but it was locked. I heard my doppelganger speak and turned around with my weapon raised. He said that I faced my fears, survived a nightmare of my own making, and defeated Tartarus, that I could wish of it what I willed. I said I wished Tartarus did not exist anymore. I woke up in the room with the dead vagrant. He was still dead and he still had the injury from the katana, but the blade was missing. The room looked just like any other room in the building. I then exfiltrated the area, and am confident that this anomaly is neutralized.
End of mission report. Agent 10 ended his own life shortly after this mission report was filed. The Bureau's second-class agents discovered that this anomaly manifested in several locations throughout history, and certain events investigated by Bureau agents in the past can be traced back to possible manifestations of this anomaly.